Wow, I am super, uber excited about being here with each and every one of you. And I'm telling you, you could not have a better leader than Miss Oden. She has put work in from early in the morning to late in the evening just to make sure that this experience is exactly what you need it to be. Now, we know that all of us would love to be together, so we could do like a group hug, we could take photos and have everyone together. But in life, there's this thing called flexibility. And sometimes we've got to be flexible. So we're at one of these conversation points and we're saying, now what? Leaders, let's work together. Now, it's just not going to be myself today. I have a super, super exciting treat for you. I have one of our lead trainers. Matter of fact, our lead trainer is going to come and actually do a presentation with me. But I was taking a screenshot of a few names. So I see Dr. Burns out there. I see Rachel. I see Dawn. Let's see. Frederica, let's see, who else do I see out there? I'm getting ready to get some of these names. Oh my goodness, I see a lot of names. I see Amanda, Patricia, Autumn, Benjamin. I see Blake. I see another Ashley. Oh my goodness. And you're probably saying, when is he going to call my name? I hope I can see all the names. I see Savannah. I see Sydney, Trey, Trinity, Noah, Paige, Macy, Logan, Lauren. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of you guys out there. I'm gonna miss some names. So let me do it this way. Hello to Lottie Dottie and everybody. So today is really about you. And I know in this state of our pandemic, I still need you to be safe. I still need you to make sure that you understand the importance of how important you are to yourself and to your family. So if we're saying we need to wear masks, make sure you wear masks. If you're saying you need to wash your hands, make sure you wash your hands. If we say we need to have our social distance of 6 feet, let's make sure we are social distancing of 6 feet. So alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. I would highly encourage you with the speakers that have come before us, whether it was earlier today or even before today or even after today, make sure that you are taking notes to ink it so you can rethink it. Again, ink it so you can rethink it. This is about you. This is about everything that you're looking to do. It's about what you're looking to achieve. It's about how you're going to take your goals and dreams as student leaders and take them from average to awesome. It's about how you're going to position yourself to take the tools as a Pinckney scholar and say, these are the things that I've got to apply back at my high school. These are the things that I've got to apply back in my community. These are the things that I've got to apply back into my faith-based settings. Leadership is leadership, everyone. So, and I know that it's sometimes tough when you begin to look at, how do I make things work for me? Some of my friends say that I'm weird or strange, and it just doesn't look like that it's working for me. How do I make sure that if I see things a little bit different, we can go to the next slide. How do I see things a little bit different? What do I do to make sure that I'm in a position to do what I need to do? So in other words, now what? We've got to figure out how to work together. I would encourage you that if you know that you're thinking about going to the home of the Tigers, yes, I'm going to hold it up again. If you're thinking about going to Kenston University, I would highly encourage you to find out who else on this particular live feed is thinking about going to Kenston. Now, why is it important for you to figure out who else is going to Kenston? You probably say, well, Dr. Griffin, we don't even know if we're going back to school. We may not know that, but it does not eliminate you from networking. The key word is networking. Why is it important for you to network? As you network, you will know your net worth. Now, why is that important for you? You are not going to college just to have an experience as it relates to college. You're going to college to have an experience as it relates to a career. And Mr. Pinckney put things in place for leaders just like you at an early age to understand that you may already know what you want to do. And then others of you, Logan, you may say, I'm not 100% sure, but I know I'm going to college. Next slide. It doesn't matter if you don't know. What matters is the fact that you're trying to grow. Leadership is the art of giving people a platform for spreading ideas that will work. That's what Ms. Oden's doing. She's giving you a platform. And let me share with you what's so critical about a platform, because she had to pivot. Now you probably say, what do you mean by that, Dr. Griffin? Let me move this out of the way a little bit. She would have loved to have had all of you in a room that you could have spent the night. You could have had the experiences during the day, experiences during the evening, and then in a couple of days, you go back home and she'd be like a zombie because she worked from sun up to sundown. But she got better instead of getting bitter. Please put that in your notes. She got better instead of getting bitter. She got better because she said, okay, I'm not going to be able to do it the way that I traditionally want to do it. So let me come up with an option to make sure that people can still get the things today that they need today so they can be the leaders tomorrow that they need to be tomorrow. Why is this critically important? Because if she puts those tools in place, next slide, she puts you in place that you can have success. So a special thanks to her and an entire crew of other support individuals that are helping pull all this off. I know in our office, this is kind of funny. I wish I could turn the cameras around and let you see. There's lights here, there are wires there, there's a projector, a screen, there's a camera, laptops, microphones, another laptop. Mr. McCoy's in the corner, he's just waiting. I mean, we have a whole lot of stuff, but let's just be honest. This used to be our training studio. Notice I said training studio. Now it's a recording studio. So everything put itself in a position had to change for us. So as you see all these words that are coming up on the next slide, did COVID-19 change these things for you? Did it change school? Did it change family? Did it change culture, friends, success? Did it make you more flexible? Did it potentially change some of your family's finances? COVID-19 is something that we've never seen before, young leaders, and some of your parents may be under a different level of stress as well as you. Some of them may have had, if they were essential workers, they may have had to work more than they've ever had to work before, and you had to go from big brother to maybe babysitter, to big sister to maybe the cook, to big brother and big sister that you had to create activities and you had to take on a different level of responsibility for your family. And I want to employ upon you and say thank you for all that you're doing. And I want to show you something that really shows you how much we really thank you. Look at this quick video. You're going to have fun with this.
20 things we should say more often. Number 20, thank you. And not just on Thanksgiving, every day. Number 19, excuse me. Number 18, here's a surprise corn dog that I bought you because you're my friend. There'll be more corn dogs and more happy people. This is a good idea. Corn dog for you, corn dog for you, corn dog for you. Number 17, I'm sorry. Number 16, I forgive you. Number 15, you can do it! But don't say it if it's something they can't do. Number 14, another thing that we should say more often, I have barbecue sauce in my shirt too. Before you say something about the barbecue sauce on somebody else's shirt, take a look at the barbecue sauce on your own shirt. Number 13, please. Number 12, everything is going to be okay. Number 11, oh, you got me a corn dog too? You shouldn't have, buddy. Number 10, I don't know. I know a lot of people who need to say that. My sister. Number 9, you're so awesome I named my dog after you. Wait. That could hurt someone's feelings. I mean boat. I named my boat after you. Wait, who even have a boat? You're so awesome, I legally changed my name to yours. Wait, that's super creepy. Just tell people they're awesome and mean it. Number 8, hello person that I've never met before. Here's a high five. Number 7, my sports team is not always the best sports team. It takes a big man to say that. Number 6, nothing. Sometimes that's the best thing you can say. Number 5, doesn't mean anything, but it's just really funny. Number 4, I disagree with you, but I still like you as a person who is a human being, and I'll treat you like that. Because if I didn't, it would make everything bad, and that's what lots of people do, and it's lame. Whew, I need a water break, y'all. It's okay to disagree, but it's not okay to be mean. Number 3, sometimes you just gotta scream. 2, life is tough, but so are you. Sometimes we all need to be reminded to keep going. Number 1, something nice. Anything. If you can't think of anything nice to say, you're not thinking hard enough. So what about you? What do you think people should say more often? Leave a comment below and let's hear it. Oh, and I got a bonus one for you. Something that we should say more often? Let's dance.
So bad.
Oh my goodness, you guys caught me dancing. I wasn't expecting you to catch me dancing. Oh, I saw you, Dr. Burns, you were dancing. Patricia, Miss Whitener, I caught you dancing. Oh, Miss Oden, I caught you dancing. Let's see, who else is out there dancing? Blake's probably dancing. Yeah, Gerald's probably dancing. Let's see who else is dancing. Oh, it's a few people. Jordan's dancing, Trey's dancing, Autumn's dancing, Daniel's dancing. Oh yeah, I see a bunch of you guys dance. Just dance a little bit. Just dance a little bit. It's time to dance. Just because we can't see each other face to face, man, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. Oh, let me get back to the presentation. I'm sorry. Let me get back to this auspicious occasion where I have the 4-H Pinckney Scholars here today, and I want to make sure that I give you some essential tools and knowledge to ensure that you can go from average to awesome. But all jokes aside, we're really excited. And I think that it's time for us to give you some real practical tools for you to go from one level of success to the next level of success. Because if you're really looking at the now what was good yesterday may not be now what's good today. So when I say I have a treat for you, this guy has spoken in front of 5,000 people physically. Not only has he done college graduations, he is one of the top speakers that colleges and universities are using right now in the United States virtually, because he's really about the age of many of the college students just graduating, and he's poised, he's skilled, he's talented. So I am super, super excited to let my friend and the person that's going to lead us through these next steps, the super talented Mr. Christopher McCoy, to drop it on you about the now what.
All right. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you, Dr. Griffin, for the opportunity. Thank you, Ms. Oden, for the opportunity to have us here. So let's talk a little bit about now what, okay? So if you would, please, advance the next point.
I'm hungry, man.
All right. So number one, if you're taking notes, make sure you write this down and write down everything we're going to talk about moving forward, because I want you to be able to not only feel good in this moment, but also be able to take the information that we share with you and apply it into your life moving forward. This is not just for you to take it right now, say, I like how he said it, I like what's going on, but then afterwards say, well, what's going to happen next? What do I do with the information they're going to give me? No. This is the opportunity for you now to take advantage fully. Ask questions that you have to ask. Be transparent about the things that you don't necessarily understand, and be real, because if you're not, we're not going to be able to have that authentic conversation that we need to have. So number one, level set your mind. What do we mean by that? This is the prime opportunity right here, right now, for us to divert our energy inward. Divert your energy inward. This gives you the opportunity to refocus your mind. Refocus on not just going out and seeing people, not just having conversations with other people, but having a conversation with yourself. Being real with yourself in this moment. Asking yourself, why am I thinking about what I'm thinking about? Why am I feeling what I'm feeling? What do I want out of this thing called life? I challenge you. Each person on the phone right now, each person on the program right now, I challenge you to write down, not in this moment, but write down 50 things. That's right, 50 things that you want to happen for you in the next year. Live not in your memory. Live not in your capacity right now. Live not in what you know you can do, but live in your imagination. Challenge yourself to think past your current circumstance. Challenge yourself to think past the pandemic. And write down 50 things you want to happen for you in the future between now and this exact day next year. The reason why I'm saying that is I want you to focus on what you want. Focus on what you think can happen. Focus on what you think you deserve to happen in your life and invite that thing in. Invite that lifestyle in. Invite that mindset in. That is how you will level set your mind to think about what now and what next. Here's the next point. Evaluate your company. When you think about the people that you have in your circle of influence, I'm talking about your family, your friends, your associates, your teachers, your mentors, your bosses, your colleagues, everybody that's in your circle of influence. It's important for you to remember that you have a responsibility to evaluate that company, because you become more like the people you hang around and not the other way around. Let me slow down and say that again, people taking notes. You become more like who you hang around and not the other way around. They won't become like you. You'll become like them. So if you have people in your circle of influence that are toxic, you can't think you're going to step into that environment and continue to remain clean. If you have people around you who are negative minded, people around you who are more pessimistic, you will have a harder time being optimistic, being surrounded by people who think negative, thinking, oh gosh, it's not going to happen. We're never going to get out of the pandemic. I'm never going to see my friends again. I'm never going to be able to travel like I want to travel. If you have that mindset and you continue to operate in that mindset, you have people around you who have that mindset pressing it upon you, it's going to be harder for you to remain positive. It's going to be harder for you to remain optimistic. So I challenge you, evaluate the people you have around you. Because if you don't, you could be doing yourself a disservice. Here's the next point. Attitude. Your attitude of success is critical in order for you to obtain the success that you want. Because again, this is for you, not for anybody else. Whatever your personal idea of success is, it's important for you to believe that you can do it. Because no one else can want you to be more successful than you want for yourself. I'll say that again, that was a little hot. No one else can want you to be more successful than you want for yourself. So if you don't think you can do it, if you don't think your idea of success is attainable for you, you'll never get it. No matter how many people think you can do it, no matter how many people support your ideas, no matter how many people make a way for your idea to become a reality and try to do it on your behalf, it'll never happen fully because you don't believe in yourself enough to be successful. Don't let that be your story. Don't let that be your reality. You have more strength and more power than you may realize in this moment. So it's important for you to take that power back. Make sure your attitude is reflective of the success that you want to have. Here's the next point. Develop a plan. One of my mentors, his name is David, he had this really catchy phrase, and I want to make sure that you can write this down now as well. The phrase is, write the vision, make it plain, and then make it plain. Let me say that one more time. Let me slow it down. Write the vision, make it plain, and then make it plain. What that means is, whatever you want to happen for you, take a pen and pencil, take a notepad, a marker, whatever the case. If you're on your phone, use your notes in your phone, but write down the plan you have over your life. What do you want to happen in your life? Write it down and be specific. Don't just say, I want to be successful. Write down what it means to you to be successful. Don't just say, I want to get a degree. Don't just say, I want to go to school. Don't just say, I want to get a job. Be specific. What type of degree? What type of job? Where do you want to live? What amount of money do you want to make? Who do you want to be in contact with? How long do you want to be there? What kind of car do you want to drive? What kind of house do you want to live in? How big of a house will it be? How successful do you want your family to be? How successful do you want your friends to be? Write the plan down and be very, very specific as you can. Because once you write it down and make it plain, then you can take that plane and lift off. You dig what I'm saying? Here's the next point. Execute your work. What that means is, don't just talk about it, be about it. Don't just say you want it. Don't just say I'll try it. Don't just say I'll attempt it. Do it. There is no bigger a disappointment than you saying that you're going to try something and give it less than your full capacity. There's no bigger disappointment than you articulating that this is your dream, but not believing in yourself enough to commit yourself to your dream. There's no bigger disappointment than you showing up in a level that you know you can do better. You know you can give it more. You know you're giving yourself and doing yourself a disservice. But because you know this, your dream is going to remain just that, a dream. So execute the work. Go full force. Don't stop until it's done. You will fail. Let me give you this disclaimer now. There's going to be a point when you set a new mindset, when you set a new habit, that you're going to fail. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But what happens is, when you reach that moment of failure, you can either learn from it or sit in it. If you decide to sit in it, you're going to put yourself in a position where that dream of yours will die or it'll be delayed. But if you decide to learn from it, every failure will become a lesson. And that lesson will build upon itself. Every time you attempt something new and you come up short, that lesson will continue to build upon itself until you find yourself being at a level that you were not at the beginning. You found yourself growing throughout the process and didn't even realize it because you didn't think you were being successful because you met so much failure. But every failed opportunity is opportunity for you to grow. So execute. Don't let the fear of not being good enough keep you stuck in this moment. Continue to try and change your vocabulary. Don't say, I'm going to give it my best shot. Don't say, I'm going to attempt to do it. Don't say, I want to do it. Say, I will. It must happen. I'm going to. Speak that thing into your life because your words have so much power. You invite what you want into your environment by how you describe it. So remember to execute your work to the fullness of your potential. And don't be limited to your confines of right now. Here's the next point. I'm almost done with this slide. I know I'm talking about a lot right now, and I do hope I'm not overwhelming anybody, but if at any point you need me to slow down, you need me to articulate a little bit slower, just let me know. But anyhow, here's the next. Respect yourself and each other. Remember, if you are going to put yourself in a position to be successful, you have to treat other people not the way you want to be treated, but treat them the way they want you to treat them. Treat them the way they want you to treat them. The golden standard is not me. The golden standard is not you. The standard is what they set for them. So no matter if you agree, no matter if you are in an environment where you believe that it should happen the way that you think it should happen, however an individual sees that they want you to respect them, operate in that accord. And do the same for you. If you want someone to respect you a certain way, it's up to you to articulate how you want them to respect you. And just as you want them to do for you, you must also do for them. Now, on this slide, here's the last one. I know I've gone through a lot of points so far, but remember, each of these things can be applied to your life, okay? Not at the same time if you don't want to. You can slow walk this thing, but you have the opportunity right now to take advantage of this time where you're not going so much, traveling so much, so you can really pull and manifest the things you want to happen in your life right here, right now. Here's the last one for this slide. Seek the now what. What we're going to talk about in just a few moments is a key to success. It's 4 parts. A key to success is called emotional intelligence. Some people may have heard that phrase before. Some people, this may be the first time you ever heard it, but there are only 4 parts to it. And when we go throughout this next slide, I want you to either take a picture of the slide or write the points down so you can keep this into your psyche, keep this into your persona as we move forward, and you can advance into the next level of leadership. Let's go to the next slide. Now, think about how to prepare for your next level. Here are all 4 points. Take a picture of this screen. Take a picture of this slide. I want you to have this information so that as we go into the next phase of leadership, you'll be able to advance yourself to the next level of leadership that you desire for yourself. Here's the first one. Enhance your self-awareness. What that means is, write this one word down. It's one word. Know your triggers. Know your triggers. What I mean by triggers is, Can I be honest? Can I be transparent? Can I be honest? Know what pisses you off before you get there. Know what upsets you before you get upset. Know what makes you happy before you're happy. Reason why I say that is you have the responsibility to know the factors that contribute to your emotional state. You have to know, I don't like it when people talk over me. I don't like it when people cut me off in traffic. I don't like it when people underestimate me because of how old I am. I don't like it when someone tells me they're going to do something and then they don't do it and they expect me to do it when I say I'm going to do it. Whatever your triggers are, know them, and know them like the back of your hand. Because if you don't, you won't be able to pinpoint where your mood shifted until you think back on it after the fact. But leaders, when we're in a position of leadership, we don't have the luxury of thinking about it later. We have to be in front of it. So when we begin to feel ourselves shifting one way or the other, we have to be able to pull ourselves back to center, because we are on a different level of expectation when we are asked to be put in positions of leadership. Here's the second one. Execute self-management. Can I ask everyone in the chat a question? Here's the question. Who is in control of your emotions? Who is in control of your emotions? Now, some people may think, well, I'm in control. I'm in control. And that is a very good answer. And ideally, you should be in control. But can I give you a different perspective? The person in control of your emotions is who you give the control to. Case in point, how many of us have ever in life said, someone else made me upset? Someone else put me in my feelings. Someone else pissed me off. If we said that, then we gave the control to another person. We gave the control to another source. And because we gave them control, we then said, however you want me to feel is how I will feel at this moment. Self-management is, write this word down, accountability. You have to hold yourself accountable to how you feel, because your emotions are yours and no one else's. No one can tell you how to feel in a moment. No one can make you happy. No one can make you sad. No one can make you angry. You have to allow yourself in that moment to feel what you feel. You have to allow yourself in that moment to feel what you feel. No one else has that power over you unless you give it to them. So when you're in a position of leadership, you have to remember that thing, because it's critical for your success. You have control over how you feel. And because of that, you have control over how you act when you feel what you feel. Here's the third point. Examine your social awareness. This means not only am I aware of how I feel, or I'm aware of what makes me feel or prompts me to feel the way that I feel. Not only can I manage my emotions, but now I can see how other people are feeling. I can practice, write these two words down, sympathy and empathy. I can practice sympathy and empathy. Now, can I be transparent with y'all? When I first heard those two words, I thought, isn't that the same thing? Can't you just use those things interchangeably? The answer is no, you can't, because they're two different things. Sympathy describes how you can share an emotion with somebody. You share the emotion because you also share the experience. Empathy, however, talks about understanding. Although you have not experienced what someone else has experienced, you can still feel for how they feel to a degree. When you are asked to be in a position of leadership, or you are thrown into a position of leadership because of your ability and your potential, it's up to you to be able to be vulnerable enough to show up emotionally, to show up psychologically for individuals who are asked to follow you. Because leadership is not a title. Leadership is not a position. Leadership is a calling. And if you are put in that position, it's because you can handle it. And because you can handle it, you can also open yourself up enough so that other people can believe in you as their leader and choose to follow you. Because nobody who is a true leader has people following them who does not want to follow them. It's a lot of good managers out there. A lot of people who are thrown into a position of leadership and are leading, but no one wants to follow. They're only following because of their job. They're only following because of their position. But true leaders build that kind of synergy with the people who choose to follow them. And that is true leadership. And here's the last piece. Practice relationship management. Once you have found that you can manage your emotion, once you found you know your triggers, once you found you can express sympathy and empathy, the last piece of it is putting it all together. Practicing relationship management. And I know some of you are like, well, Chris, I've never heard this before. And I may have heard it before, but I don't know how to do it. Let me actually show you something, and it's going to surprise you. Everyone on this chat right now, yes, that includes you. Every one of you are already experts at this. Already experts, because you have one successful relationship in your life. All of you have at least one person right now who you have a relationship with, whether that is a family member or a friend. You have a relationship with that person, and it is a healthy relationship with that person. And since you have at least one, you know how to identify your triggers. You know how to hold yourself accountable. You also know how to see and feel what other people are feeling. So since you are already experts at it, I'm going to challenge you again. Just because you're an expert does not mean you cannot get better. Just because you are already at a level of success does not mean you cannot become more successful. So challenge yourself in this time. Push past those barriers that other people may press upon you, or you may set for yourself. Try something new. And don't just try because you want to try. Try with the intent to succeed. Try with the intent to be successful. Try with the intent to accomplish and achieve. Because if that's what you invite into your life, that's what you will see. Now, let's open it up for any questions or comments individuals may have, because this is the prime time now to use myself and Dr. Griffin. If you have any questions whatsoever, put them in the chat now, and we're going to have the opportunity to answer your questions. So let's hear it. How are you feeling? What are you thinking? Share that with us in the chat function, and let's talk about it. Let's grow together.
All right, and guys, you can also, if you want to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate it.
If you want to unmute yourself, go ahead and unmute yourself, and you can ask your question personally as well. Let's see.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
Facebook, any questions from Facebook?
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, so we have a question. The first question is, how have you learned to deal with triggers?
Oh, okay. So I'll answer that first, and then I'll give Dr. Griffin an opportunity to answer if he decides to. So how have I learned to deal with my triggers? So I had to have that transparent conversation with me by myself. So I had to remove myself from whatever situation I was in and literally sit by myself and think, what makes me happy? What makes me sad? What makes me angry beforehand? Here's an example. In the professional work environment, right now, I'll tell you how old I am, because Dr. Griffin mentioned it earlier. I am 26 years old. Right now, one of my professional pet peeves is somebody undermining me because of my age. That is a professional pet peeve of mine. But I understand, though, because of the environment that I'm in and because I'm working in corporate America, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to think that I don't know anything because I'm young or I'm novice or inexperienced. How I have learned to manage that is I expect when I'm in a room of people who are older than me, I expect at some point for somebody to discredit my comments or my advice or my suggestions because of how young I am. I expect it to happen. So I'm not caught off guard when it does. If it doesn't, great. But if it does, I'm not put in an emotional state because I knew at some point somebody was going to. So that way I can have that one-on-one conversation with that person. I can have that sidebar conversation to ask them, let's be honest. If I were your age and I had said the same thing, would you respond the same way you did? Let's be honest. If I had the same number of years of experience as you in this field, how would you feel about my suggestion? And if the answer to that is not the same, I challenge them not to think about me, but to think about them. Because it's not a matter of me being wrong in that moment. It's a matter of their perception. of someone younger than them giving them advice. So that's how I've learned to manage my triggers. Any other questions? Any other questions?
Another question?
Yes.
How do you advise young leaders to take strides in active leadership during these times?
So for those who may not have heard the question or have not seen the question was essentially, what is a piece of advice that I would give a young leader looking to act in leadership in this moment and specifically during this time that we're in? A couple different ways. Number one is to find a mentor. Find someone that can give you strategic advice on what you want to do. Okay, all right. Now, I apologize about that. That was good too. That was good. So again, I advise someone to think about, to get a mentor, one. Two, be specific in the type of leader you want to be. Be very specific, because if you say you want to be a leader or operate in a leadership role, you have to define that for yourself. Define what leadership is for you. And once you have a clear definition of what leadership is, then you can take a more direct step in that direction. So you don't have your energy going all over the place. You can then laser focus what you want to become, if that makes sense. I hope it does. Any other questions or comments?
Alex has a question. Alex, you can unmute yourself if you would prefer to ask it yourself.
Okay. Hello, this is Alex. I wanted to ask, how do you handle disagreements with your colleagues or other professionals?
Got it. Okay. So Alex, first off, thank you for asking that question. Secondly, the way that I have learned to manage those disagreements is, remember to manage the emotional reaction that I may feel when we're in a public situation. So say, for example, we are in a staff meeting and it's in front of everybody and we have a disagreement. There's an opportunity for me then to have a side conversation with that person. Don't address them in front of everybody, because one's going to look defensive. And two, it's going to sound as if you're responding out of emotion. Even if you're not, you're going to sound like you are, because the perception is he's just defending himself because someone else disagreed with him. But if you have that sidebar conversation with the person you have disagreement with, then you can get to the cusp of what it is that you don't see eye to eye about. You can have that transparent conversation that will be more, quote, intimate and vulnerable with that person out to the side than you would in front of everybody, because let's just be honest, some people are more easily embarrassed. And if the person that disagreed with you is one of those people who is more easily embarrassed and you come back at them, it's going to sound like a clapback. And once you do that, they're going to be prompted to respond the same emotionally. And it's not going to get us anywhere. So that's how I advise someone who has a disagreement, particularly at work, to handle that. Pull them to the side. Don't do it in front of everybody. Any other questions or comments for myself or Dr. Griffin?
Anyone want?
I have a quick question since I got you in front of us.
Yes.
So what do you think are some of your most important sort of daily habits that help prepare you to be the leader that you are and that you want to become?
Okay, so first and foremost, who asked that question? I want to say your name.
I'm sorry, Patricia.
Okay, first, Patricia, thank you. Because I wanted someone to ask about like a morning routine or how you level set before you go into work. So thank you for asking that question. What I do personally, and I'll talk about me personally because everyone has a different routine. But for me, in the mornings when I wake up, I work out. So I go on a walk, I go on a run, and when I jog, push-ups, sit-ups, whatever I feel that day, I'm doing some kind of morning workout. While I'm doing my workout, I'm listening to some type of devotion or some type of music that's more tranquil and puts me in a calm mindset to level set me in the first thing in the morning. Because I realized that your brain is most subjective the first 20 minutes of your day. So what that means is, for everybody listening, the first thing you do in the morning can position you for the entire day. So the first thing you do in the morning is open up your phone and go on Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook or Twitter or TikTok or whatever. If you go there first thing in the morning, and even this, if you go look at the news first thing in the morning, you can position yourself to have a negative type of mindset in the morning. Someone said, I feel attacked. I'm not trying to attack you, I promise. But what I am trying to do is give you insight, because what I don't want to happen is for you to sit through a presentation like this or from the other speakers, and we give you these nuggets of information, but don't tell you the consequences of choosing to do whatever you decide to do with that information. So the piece of that is in the morning, after I do my workout and my devotion, then of course have breakfast or whatever, get ready for the day, those things. But the critical things that I want everyone to understand is put whatever stimulus in the morning that you're going to put into your mind, make it positive. Make it something that's going to be uplifting and something that's going to be joyful. Because if you don't, you can position yourself to have a negative disposition going into the day. That's why some people, when they go into work, they already hate it and nothing's happening. That's why some people, when you try to talk to them in the morning, they feel like, oh, I haven't had enough coffee, or oh, I don't want to be here, or I didn't get enough sleep. You slept 8 hours. You didn't get enough sleep. Yes, you did. But the thing is, you position yourself to have a more negative disposition. So whatever you do in the mornings, make sure it's positive and it gives you energy, and not push you in a position where you have a negative mindset. So that's what I do, and that's what I encourage other people to do as well. So thank you again, Patricia, for asking that question. All right, so I think we are about to wrap it up now. We don't want to hold y'all too long, but again, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to be able to connect with you this morning and afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to really engage with each and every one of you on the call and on the line. We appreciate you, and we want you to be successful. And the bottom line is we want you all to be successful. And however you determine success is for you, determine your success and live every day shooting for that thing, striving for that thing, striding toward that thing. Don't live in your memory, live in your imagination. And before we close, Dr. Griffin has some quick final words.
Ta-da! I told you he was awesome, man. So we're super excited. Ms. Oden, to everything that you do for extension services, 4-H, and the Pinckney Scholars, you are a rock star. So thank each and every one of you for being here. And to my young leaders, hold on to the information, execute, apply the information, and you'll put yourself in a position to understand that there is no more average, there's just awesome. So thank you all. Ms. Oden, we'll turn it back over to you.